Hello and welcome. I'm Adri Gregan, and I'm back for more Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Today we're going into episode 4 of season 1, and last time was kind of segmented into two halves. For the first half, we stopped by a local port city, port town if you would, and we got some sweets, got some dinner, enjoyed a nice view, and had a very touching scene where Frieren decided to give Fern a birthday present, even though she didn't know what she likes, and also resolved to learn more about what she likes. Fern also showed how attentive she is by knowing what Frieren likes, the kind of pudding she likes, which apparently she's not the first person to guess that. So I guess in her defense, Frieren is a bit of an open book, so it's not that surprising, I suppose. Regardless, it's considerate, and they're both very considerate. You can't really fault somebody for not knowing what they like and giving them a present anyways, right? Because, I mean, you hear it so much, it's the thought that counts, because it really is. It's a platitude because it's true. However, her desire to go learn more about what Fern likes is commendable, and it really shows the thought that went into it. Regardless, for her birthday, Fern got a nice little hairpin thing, a little metal hairpin of sorts, and now she wears it around, which is awesome. Something to remember her by. Remember Frieren by, I should say. And the second half of the episode was a little bit more intense and a little more action focused. Or action oriented, I should say, not action focused, because the real focus is on the passage of time, which you could say that about the whole show, really. But we decided to go visit a demon that was sealed during their journey 80 years ago, Qual. And since the seal was about to be broken, we decided to basically deal with him for good. Initially, this was framed as something that would be quite a difficult encounter, quite an ordeal, because he was too powerful to slay the first time. And this is because he invented effectively an armor-piercing magic spell, killing magic, as the episode was titled. But as we learn in the future, and as was alluded to when Frieren pressed Fern about the history books that she hasn't been reading, it turns out 80 years is a very long time for humans. It's much shorter for demons like Qual and for, well, I guess elves like Frieren. But for humans who live such a short time, we're in a bit of a rush to pass the torch. You see it on a smaller scale with Fern. She's in a rush to keep things moving and to make sure and to ensure that Frieren is using her time wisely, because she really feels that smaller time scale. But on the larger time scale, humans as a species advance due to the ingenuity that is born from their impermanence, their desire to leave a mark despite their brief span of time in this world. We see that with the defensive spells that are just ordinary, that Fern doesn't even blink an eye at, are now completely able to counter Zoltrak, the armor-piercing spell, for lack of a better turn of phrase, I suppose. And she does. So when he unleashes his, at the time, groundbreaking technique on Fern, she blocks it easily. And she's like, wait a second, that was just a normal attack. And that's when it goes full circle. That's the moment that we realize that the advance of science, the advance of technology, of ingenuity, is relentless. What was groundbreaking 80 years ago is now just the standard. And as a result, not only have the defensive spells advanced, the offenses advance too, because they go hand in hand, right? And we saw that with Frieren, who obliterated Qual with a single Zoltrak of her own, because the offensive spells have gone to match, right? Toe-to-toe, defense, offense. So her Zoltrak is barely recognizable from his. It's so much more powerful because of that time. Less than a century, a blink of an eye in Frieren's terms, but for humans, it's that long. So it was a really fascinating episode, really brilliant display of, or a brilliant exploration, I should say, of the themes of the passage of time and of perspective that the show is very clearly eager to explore. So I'm just as eager to explore it and see how the show will explore it further. I'm curious now that we have 3 episodes, now that we're 3 episodes in, if we will start introducing new characters now, like long-term characters, not just these one-off characters, beyond Fern and Frieren. I hypothesized last time that we built out a good 3, perhaps 4 episode base that will just introduce the world, and then after that we'll meet more characters like the ones in the opening, good and bad alike, friend and foe, I should say. So either this episode or next episode, I'm expecting that to happen. Maybe we'll meet that very shonen protagonist looking boy that night that's in the opening, and maybe we'll meet some of the antagonists. I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. If you're excited as well, please do hit the like if you do enjoy it. If you want to keep me on, accompany me on this journey to finish season 1 of Frieren in time, if not a little bit late into season 2 in a few weeks. I watch it 3 times a week, so I should be catching up probably sometime in February, and then I'll be able to watch season 2 weekly. So if you want to join me on the journey, please do subscribe. It helps me be notified that you want to watch it, and it helps you get notified whenever there's the next chance to watch it. But yeah, with all that YouTuber housekeeping stuff out of the way, I'm not going to waste any more of either of our time. We're just going to hop into the episode. And it seems like every episode will just start with the opening, straight into it. So no recap, no introduction. I wonder if that'll change, but it seems like we're building that as the pattern moving forward. Such a lovely song, such a lovely opening. And in case you can't tell, I don't skip the openings or endings. I really enjoy them, as I feel like more often than not, the vast majority of the times, they're a great way to get you into the feel of the show. They're very intentional. I mean, you can clearly tell they're very intentionally made and crafted by both the songwriter and the animators and the directors. So I feel like it's almost doing yourself a disservice not to watch them. And I mean, people complain about spoilers. I haven't seen any spoilers in here. In case you're not aware, a spoiler that you don't know until it happens is not a spoiler. It is called foreshadowing. So there's a lot of foreshadowing I can tell in here, but no spoilers. Except I suppose character designs, but I really don't consider that a spoiler. If anything, it builds anticipation, which is why I love this opening so much. 28 years after the death of Himmel the hero. Okay. This is around the same time. No big time skip yet. And another thing the show has been toying with is seeing Himmel basically everywhere she goes, right? Seeing somebody whose lifespan is so much shorter than her, who may end up outliving her. Lame, I think that was the person who said the quote, who the quote was attributed to at the start of the show. Nisemono. She learned her lesson after Qual. Are never real. Interesting. I wonder how she knows that. My own self-satisfaction. Her own journey. Learn more about humans, learn more about herself. Learn more about Himmel. And, of course, Fern. Oh. Again, that feeling of community. And now we're 3 months later now. Wow. It's so great. Even though we're following Fern, we're still watching it from the perspective of Frieren. Again, the time's moving so quickly. I mean, I know some shows that only take the entire shows over the span of 3 months. But that wasn't even a I'm blanking. That wasn't even a montage. That was literally just a time skip. She's still half asleep. Hurry up. Why are you in such a rush, Fern? She's got this oddly motherly quality about her, Fern. Meanwhile, Frieren's about to go into hibernation. She's just not in a rush. Well, there we go. Is there a problem with that? I said sorry. I just didn't. I moved at my own pace. Oh. I'm gonna assume that was Himmel. The tongue click. Let me find out that was like the day they were supposed to invade the Demon King's castle or something. That's the day she overslept and they got mad. Ah, that's better. So expressive. It's amazing. New Year's festival. Very timely. Hmm. Makes sense. Exactly. Friends thinking, I've got my work cut out for me this time. Oh my god. Every single day. Oh. The little tongue sticking out. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, it's so great. Wow. That was clean. I'm using it all as burning it all. Easy way to dispose of it, I suppose. Ooh, a bubble. Oh, it's a sample of the water. Interesting. It's beautiful. I mean, if the sunset looks this beautiful, I can hardly imagine the sunrise. Utterly impossible. No faith whatsoever. Hey, I can't oversleep if I don't sleep. Brilliant. Ooh. I'm not interested. I want to see if I'll feel anything, if it'll impact me. I want to see for myself how I'd react to it.
ハイターなんてショックのあまり寝込んでしまった。
Aww.
かわいそうに。
酒の飲みすぎでダウンしているだけだぞ。
I'm sure it's a little of both.
僕たちはね、
We wanted you to enjoy it, and we wanted to enjoy it with you, I imagine.
楽しめるとは思えないけど。
いいや、楽しめるね。
どうして？
Because it's an experience.
君はそういうやつだからだ。
Ooh. Person who appreciates the little things.
寝てる。フリーレン様、起きてください。新年祭に遅れますよ。お母さん。誰がお母さんですか？
Mother.
なんで私がこんなこと。
That's not the person in the opening, is it?
ありがとう、フェルン。
The fact that her scarf's wrapped up like little, well, not a little, but a big old bow tie, kind of. Very cute.
確かに綺麗だけど、早起きしてまで見るものじゃないな。ヒンメルは私のこと分かってないな。
We'll see about that.
フェルン、帰って二度寝。フリーレン様、とても綺麗ですね。そうかな。ただの日の出だよ。
First sunrise of the year.
少し楽しそうです。それはフェルンが笑っていたから。
It's the experience.
私一人じゃこの日の出は見れなかったな。当たり前です。フリーレン様は一人じゃ起きられ
I
ません
don't think that's what she was talking about, but you're also not wrong. Land where souls rest.
ご家族ですか？昔の話だ。俺の村が魔族に襲われてな。何をしている？
Probably why he's on the journey.
祈っています。人は死んだら無に帰る。天国に行くんですよ。
数千年前までは無に帰るって考えが主流だったからね。ドワーフは伝統を重んじる。まあ私も天国には懐疑的だけど、今の人類の魔法技術じゃ死後の魂の観測ができないから
Current mages
実
can't.
在を証明できないんだよね。
どっちでもいいと思うけどな。
そう
Interesting.
ですね。私も実在するかどうかはどっちでもいいです。
But it gives me peace of
それ
mind.
言っていいのか？生臭坊主？
でも、
Namagusa
たとえ実在
Bozu.
しなかったとしても、あるべきものだと思います。
I believe it should. Huh.
その方が都合がいいからです。必死に
都合がいい convenient.
無であっていいはずがありません。だったら天国で贅沢三昧していると思った方が
You'd rather be rewarded for their goodness, justice.
確かに都合がいい。祈るか。
おう。
He is still alive.
アイゼン、遊びに来たよ。
遊びに来たよ。
30年ぶりとは思えん態度だな。
Let's play.
30年でしょ。
そうだな。まさかお前が。
I was wondering if he was still alive. I was hoping so.
アイゼン、何か手伝ってほしいこととかってある？
フリーレン、ハイターにも同じようなことを聞いたらしいな。お迎えにはまだ早いぞ。
なんで知っているの？
文通をしていたからな。
Oh, of course they did.
まず律儀だね。
お前がそっけなさすぎるんだ。
Why didn't you ever write
ある
Frieren?
の？手伝ってほしいこと。
She doesn't feel the need to, right? She's not in a
カ
rush.
ルボンチか。懐かしいね。
来たことあるのか？
昔ね。
昔って言ったぞ。どれだけ前なんだ？
How many centuries ago?
原始時代でしょうか。
How many
そこまで長生きじゃないよ。
millennia ago?
それで探し物って？
大魔法使いフランメの手記だ。
The real deal?
まあいいけど。 フランメの著書はほとんどが偽物だよ。
手がかりはある。
He's trying to find a real one
生徒
though.
に残されたフランメの記録をまとめ上げて割り出した場所だ。
Hmm.
本物の手記はフォルボン地の
Her?
どこかに。
Oh.
フリーレン、お前なら知っているはずだ。
お前なら。
そこまで調べていたのか。
Hmm.
わかった。まずは大きな木を探そうか。
大
A
きな
large
木か。
tree.
途方もないな。たくさんあるぞ。まあ、時間なんていくらでもあるのか。
まあね。でも
Is Fern feeling impatient?
早めに終わらせる。
What is she?
なるべく効率的に探しましょう。
Yeah, she doesn't want another pause.
変わったな。お前は人の時間を気にするようなやつじゃなかった。
Hmm.
だってフェルン、怒ると怖いんだよ。
そうか。気をつけよう。
Better stay on her good side. What was that? Oh, that poor frog. The world just got turned upside down in an instant. Whoa, is he running on water? Is that just a thing that dwarves can do? Is that a thing that mages can do? I guess we wouldn't know. They were flying, so I assume not.
フリーレン様、西の方に遺跡を飲み込んだ大樹がありました。
Hmm.
こちらです。わかった。ねえ、なんでフランメの手記なんか探すことにしたの？
Why
か
indeed?
わいそうだと思ってな。
え？
お前と
かわいそう？
ヒンメルがかわいそうだと思ったんだ。
Hmm.
30年前のあの日、お前はヒンメルを知っておけばと口にした。
Okay.
あの言葉はヒンメルに直接伝えてやるべきものだ。大魔法使いフラ
is he-
ンメの式には死者と対話した
I was gonna say, is he trying to find
とされている。
おとぎ話だよ。
a way to or to communicate with the land of the dead?
持っていない。
どんな魔法も初めはおとぎ話だった。それにヒンメルのことを知りたいんだろ。だからハイターと相談した。お前はきっと後悔しているだろうから。
Oh wow, and they invested a lot of time into that. That goes beyond considerate. And I assume there's a little bit more to that. Maybe he wants to talk to him too.
大樹も遺跡も強力な結界で守られていて、
Ooh, that's a good sign.
1000年も前のことなのに。
Still dancing in the palm of my master's hand?
頼りない留守番だね。
Was that Flum?
そうでもねえさ。こいつが成長すれば
Is that her?
1000年だろうがこの場所を守り続ける。
その頃には先生死んでるでしょ。
Sensei.
だがお前は違う。
That's
お前は
Flum,
いつ
isn't
か
it?
大きな過ちを犯し、人を知りたいと考えるようになる。
1,000 years ago and she predicted it.
かまってちゃん。
ちげえよ。その時はここに帰ってこいって言ってんだ。
Oh
手
wow.
助けしてやる。
Oh, that is a big
この
tree.
大魔法使いフランメ様が。
Dancing in the palm of her hand. Oh, beautiful. And there it is. Genuine
それがフランメの手記。
notes
本
from
物なのでしょう
Flum.
か？本物だよ。なぜわかるのですか？
フリーレンはフランメの一番でした。
Mm-hmm.
大魔法使いフランメって魔法師に出てくる大
It was just 1,000 years ago.
本当に原始時代から生きているんじ
死者との対話についての記述はある。
Prehistoric is a long
ゃ
time
丁寧
ago.
にそのページが開かれている。
Of course it is.
1000年も前から私がこ
Of
こ
course
に
she
来る
did.
ことが分かっていたのか。
Come
変
on.
わらず
You know
家
your
に
master better than that.
大陸の遥か北の果て。
It is the north,
この世
yeah.
界の人々が天国と
The
呼ぶ
land of
場
the
所。
dead.
魂の眠る地
Oriole.
たどり着いた。そこは
Oh,
多く
wow,
の
look at
魂が
that.
集まる場所で、私はかつての戦友たちと対話した。
Really? So that's where
こ
we're
の
headed
世紀の
next?
発見は魂の
研究を飛躍的に進歩させるだろう。
Research on souls.
さあね。
One way to find
日本の
out.
人だったから。
Irresponsible, huh?
その方が都合がいいだろう。
そうだね。たまには信じてみるか。
Too bad I can believe in
具体
it.
的には
Find
どの
it.
あたりなのでしょうか。ちょっと待ってね。大陸北部エンデ。
And
エンデって、そうだね。
she recognizes it?
今は魔王城がある場所だ。
Oh. Now?
なんでそんなところに。
フリーレン、俺
Why
を
now?
探してヒンメルと話すんだ。俺を手伝ってくれるんだ。
Help me help you.
悪知恵をつけたね。アイゼン。
Mm-hmm.
ハイターのおかげだ。
Awesome.
わかったよ。どうせ当てのない旅だ。
Friend's like, yes, we're moving.
でも
We're going
魔王城の
somewhere.
あたりってめちゃくちゃ寒いんだよね。行き
Mm.
たくないな。もうめげ始めている。
We saw earlier how she handles the cold, or doesn't, I suppose.
のんきなものだ。
うなされてる。
The worry lines.
魔王城のあるエンデは
Very
大陸の
northernmost
最北
end.
端だからな。
Yeah.
それにあの場所ではいろいろ
Mm-hmm.
だった
いろいろ。
But what does she mean by now with the castle? Does it move? Did it relocate?
なんだか気まずい。
Or did he relocate? And that's
そろそろフリーレン
the last location he was at when they stopped him.
フリーレン様。フリーレン様。
Kind of like how the capital of Japan moved from Kyoto to Edo / Tokyo, and it's been other places before that. I wonder if that's what she means by now.
よくわかりません。ただひたすらに魔法を求めて旅をして、振り回されてばかりです。
Adorable first person POV. Opposite POV for a. Well, I'm not used to seeing that POV from a lap pillow. Usually on the receiving end.
私にはあまり興味がないのかもしれません。
Are you
フリーレ
kidding?
ン様が私を弟子にしたのは、ハイター
You
様
are
が
surprisingly
約束に
obtuse. For as attentive as you are. Or maybe you're just looking through a
と
colored
ても不思議な
lens.
人なんです。旅を始めてからは、誕生日にプレゼントをくれるようになったんです。いつも
Despite not knowing what she likes. That's just how she
何を
is.
考えているのでしょうね。とても不思議です。
Not as strange as you think, I think.
フリーレン、君はオートには残らないのか？
旅を続けるよ。
一人でか？
気楽でいいでしょ。
No one to wake me
飯を取
up.
ったりはしないのか。旅は話し相手がいた方がいい。
時間の無駄だからね。い
A
ろいろ
waste
教
of
えても
time.
すぐ死んじゃうでしょ。
That's unusual coming from you.
フリーレン、人との関係はそういうものじゃない。
そういうものだよ。みんなとの冒険だって、私の人生の100分の1にも満たない。
And was it a waste of
アイさん
time?
ならわかるでしょ。
俺は。
はいはい、暗い話はなし。今日はめでたい日なんですからね。飲みましょう。
酒を飲む理由が欲しいだけだろう。
バレましたか。お前はいつも飲んでるだろうが。
この生臭坊主。
And he just laughs.
フェル、
Hydo really was different.
そいつはいい師匠だ。
Mm-hmm.
そう
No question about it.
アイゼン、本当についてこないの？
ああ、前にも言っただろう。俺はもう足手まといだ。
そっか。
エンデまでの道のりは 覚えている。
Cool jingling of the earrings.
まずはビレ地方。リーゲル峡谷を抜けて北側諸国の関所だね。
Hmm.
すまんな。長い旅路になる。俺たちは10年かかる。
To the demon castle. Yeah. Ooh.
か。ヒンメル様たち
I didn't really think about that. Yeah.
同じなんですね。
They'll be faster because they were probably fighting the Demon King's forces the way there. And plus, a lot's changed in 80 years, as we've talked about. So I don't think it'll take another decade. Now the real question is, will this journey be the story of, or the plot of this story, or will it just be the next few episodes? Who knows, right? Maybe 5 years will pass by next episode. Who knows? Who knows? You don't know with this show. Because that's the span of time that we work with here. She's over a millennium long. Doesn't seem like she's several, though. I guess she's between 1 to 2,000 years old, somewhere around there. Maybe 3,000. I'm sure Fern's just happy to be on the move again, though.
whispering a lullaby for you to come back.
Dragon. Phantoms of the Dead. All right, that was Frieren Season 1, Episode 4. What a beautiful transition episode. And it looks like I was, for the most part, correct that it'll be a 4-episode base building out. And now we have our call to action, if you would. A call to action from the last member of our party, whose name is slipping my mind at the moment. See it in a second. Mr. Dwarf here. Oh my god, why am I blinking on his name? Hold on. Eisen, that's right, Eisen. Yeah. Okay, so we've met up with Eisen now. But before that, let's take this in order. Start from the beginning. Well, not from the opening, obviously. So we arrive at another port town with quite a bit of, I guess, their version of pollution, right? All the trash on the beach. In their case, it's the wreckage of ships. And it's completely fallout because they don't, the entire village used to help, but it's fallen into disrepair. Area was difficult to navigate, so there's a lot of crashes, a lot of shipwrecks. And at some point, you don't have enough people, so they don't bother. It piles up, right? If something is, I mean, I'm sure we all experience it in our daily lives whenever if we have to like clean our room or clean our house or even just run any sort of errands, the more you wait and the less you do it, the bigger the task becomes and the harder it becomes to handle, and becomes this negative feedback loop of not being able to do, oh, I can't do it. Now it's even bigger. Now it's way too big for me to handle, so I'm just not going to bother, right? And it doesn't have to be errands. You could say that about mental stuff too. Like, oh, I need to go to therapy. Oh, but I've gone this long without it and my problems are so bad that I can't really help anymore, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Obviously, that's a fallacy, right? Every little bit works. Every little bit helps. Oh, I shouldn't invest. I'm already too old. I'm too old to put money into savings and start saving money. that's of course a fallacy. Every little bit helps. Of course, this is on a bigger scale. This is cleaning an entire beach, and unless you're Izuku Midoriya, that's quite a daunting task. I mean, even with mages as skilled as Frieren and Frieren, it took 3 whole months. And then, how about this as payment? It's a very real, very legitimate, totally not forged book written by Flam, the legendary mage. Flamingo, the legendary mage. And we'll learn more about her, and we'll talk more about her later, but I was curious at first why she's so confident why they're fakes, and now we know it's because Frieren knew Flamingo personally. And now she's been studying now, perhaps learning the importance of history and about its impact on the present after, again, the encounter with the demon. Books of trivia are never real because she's a legendary hero. It's the easiest thing to make money off of. Just forge it. I mean, to a degree, you could make an argument that we see this in more than just modern times, right? This is a practice as old as time itself. You could argue that a lot of the Gospels, a lot of the Bible, if you would, is not real. It's written by people after the fact. Whether they are fakes or not, whether they are the word of God or whether they are people capitalizing on it, is not something that can be determined, right? This far away, this far into the future. However, the fact remains that there were people who were writing about these, and if you take the position of a skeptic, then that is an example of this, of people talking about the exploits of a figure who earned their name in history, in the Bible's case, Jesus Christ, and effectively profiting off of it. Now, I'm not saying that the Bible was forged or that it was made out of capitalist greed. Capitalism wasn't a thing, obviously. It could have very well been for something of the equivalent in their times. It could have been that they were doing it to become famous. They were doing it to have their writings live on through time. Or it could just all be wrong. Again, this is all hypothetical. If you are a skeptic, if you don't believe that the Bible is the word of God, if you believe that it is written after the fact by people who do not have, I suppose, the experience that is assumed from the people who write those scriptures, then this is kind of that, right? It's not quite a forgery, but it's not quite real either. Or is it? I suppose that's a longer discussion, what counts as real and what doesn't. And we'll talk about it more when we get into because they actually talk about religion here, so we'll talk about that more in just a minute. But for now, I mean, Fern's a hard worker. Frieren is trying not to freeze to death with the little red on her ears. I guess not so little. Actually very sloppy. And again, this is more of what we saw before, with Fern being very impatient, feeling in a hurry, wanting to move things along, to be productive with her time. And interestingly enough, it's a sentiment we see, it's not quite something that we see Frieren talk about later. It's not quite the same sentiment. She says that it's a waste of time to go journeying with other people, but it's along the same lines. Is it related to the New Year's festival? So, I don't think it's explicitly said. I might have just missed it, but so she talks about seeing the sunrise. It's beautiful, but she's not. So she wants to clean it. That's right. She wants to clean it because she wants to see it, because she's not interested in it. Right? And also, I don't doubt she wants the people to enjoy it. Oh, it's such beautiful. Hold on. I need to look at that. Oh, the foamy water Looks so good. Wow. Beautiful. Oh, and the little splashes on the camera. So good, so beautiful. And then she tests the water. Again, unspoken, visual storytelling, show don't tell, all that stuff. We don't need to see them describe the magic to know what it is. You'll be joining us. You'll have to wake up early. That's not possible. I just need to not go to sleep. You're that desperate? I'm not interested, which is why I want to see it. I want to understand it. Other people wanted me to see it. We wanted you to enjoy it too. It's pretty, but it wasn't worth waking up for me. He didn't understand. Or is he the one who doesn't understand? It's just a sunrise, but you're enjoying yourself because we're enjoying ourselves. And I think here's where she finally starts to understand. It's not the sunrise itself, right? The sunrise is beautiful, obviously. There's no question about that. But what's truly beautiful about the experience is that she's not doing it alone. She's doing it with Fern. She's doing it with company. She would have been doing it with the people she traveled with. Himmel, Eisen, Heider. It was a memorable experience for them because they were all enjoying it together. Without them, they probably wouldn't have seen it. And I can relate to this immensely personally. I don't like doing things on my own. That's why I mainly stopped watching anime. I would argue it's because I no longer felt it was worth it to watch things on my own. And that's why I started this channel, and that's why I love this channel. And I love interacting with you all because I'm no longer watching it on my own. It's an experience that I'm sharing with other people. Now, I'm not like on a call with you. I can't really interact with you other than the comments, but there's still that sense of community, that sense of enjoying something together. And I think that's so beautiful, and it's so much more valuable to me than just enjoying it on my own. And I think I'm actually... I think that's the first time I've ever put words to it like that. And now that I have, it makes a lot more sense to me. I've always wondered why I stopped watching anime. I fell off of it, but my enjoyment of it never stopped. The last shows I watched, I didn't drop because I lost interest. I dropped because I just stopped watching. And I realized now it wasn't interest I lost, it was value. Hence, now I have the value. I'm giving value to you by giving you something you can enjoy, entertainment, and hopefully introspective analysis, and I'm giving something I can enjoy, community, and again, the introspective analysis. I'm giving it to myself as much as I'm giving it to you. And it's that shared community, it's that experience, it's enjoying things together. It's something I wouldn't have experienced otherwise. Even if the show would have been the exact same if I wasn't recording or watching with someone else, but it's completely different, right? That's why the reactosphere is as big as it is. That's why people love watching reactions. That's why I love watching reactions. It's building that community. It's enjoying something with another person, even if you're not with that person per se. You're alongside them in spirit. And that's why, not just with anime, whenever I'm going out, like I don't go out and play mini golf on my own. I don't go out really and do much on my own. I always want to do it with company because the value is incomparable. Because there's so many things that wouldn't happen if you're on your own. And I feel like I need to add a disclaimer to everything I say. But as a disclaimer, I am not disparaging doing things on your own. Not in the slightest. I'm not saying that everything should be done with other people and you shouldn't be alone. You shouldn't have any alone time. Or you shouldn't appreciate being on your own. I know a lot of people who love doing things on their own. But for me personally, even though I am an introvert, socializing with other people drains me of far more energy than it gives me. it's valuable. It's worth it for me. I'm a social introvert. I love being social, but it drains me. But the value is irrevocably there. Undeniably there. I think that's the better word. And it's undeniably worth it for me. If it's not worth it for you, that's fine. Again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do things on your own, but I think we can all agree to the sense of community, the beauty of it. It's hard not to appreciate. The sunrise is beautiful, but it's watching the sunrise that people love. And then we finally meet the last member of our party. You could say, I guess we haven't met. Well, I guess no, we did meet Himmel before he died. But meeting them like isolated in a sense. He's the final member of our party that we've got to meet quite a bit. And she's going out to ask for help, just as she did with Hyder. And those two are just... Of course they're writing to each other. I mean... Frieren says he's awfully conscientious, but this is normal, right? Again, it's that community, but also it's just we're friends. We're going to talk a lot, and we're going to write to each other, say how we're doing. Frieren probably doesn't feel the need to, one, because she lives so much longer, but also because she doesn't feel like she's in a rush. Oh, if I want to say something to you, I'll say it to your face. But for old men, for elders, I don't know if I'll be able to say it to your face. And also, it's not something I can just go out and do. My body won't let me, and it's just not a good use of my very limited time. So I'm just going to write to you, and we'll just write to each other and put it on a carrier pigeon or something. I don't know. And then they have some nice banter about how old she is, prehistoric times. One thing I do find interesting about this, and it's part of my love of language, why I'm a writer, why I like writing novels, and why I like just writing things in general. Prehistoric is an interesting term. Now, I don't know enough about Japanese to know if what she said here has the same connotation in English that it does in Japanese, but in English, prehistoric simply means before history, right? Or more accurately, before recorded history. That's what we mean by prehistoric. So in this thing, I harken back to what something I brought up in episode 1. To not force to not impart your presumptions onto a foreign world. What is prehistoric here? For us, prehistoric also varies a lot, but I would consider prehistoric to be... Actually, I don't really have a specific term for what I would say prehistoric is. We think of like dinosaurs and things like that, but... So I guess the general definition, the working definition that we use is before Homo sapiens sapiens, right? Before the modern evolution of humans came about. So before, geez, what was it? God, I'm gonna put some egg on my face real quick. I'm supposed to be a history major. I'm more of a modern history major. I don't deal with like ancient history or even prehistoric or even BC. I mainly deal with AD, especially like the last few centuries. So give or take thousands of years, tens of thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands of years. I think longer than that. If you're in the millions of years, that's prehistoric for sure. Probably hundreds of thousands could be also prehistoric. But for them, we don't know, right? Is it thousands of years? Is it millions of years? Is it billions of years? What's prehistoric here? How long is this world? We get a little bit of context towards it. We know that Frieren is not that old. So she's not like tens of thousands of years old. I think the presumption is that she's over that. Well, not the presumption. We know she's over 1,000 because 1,000 years ago she was with Flamingo. But I think she's under 2,000 because that doesn't seem halfway through her life, her current life. It seems she wasn't necessarily young back then, but she didn't have quite the same view of time she does now. And she had a master who was a human, so she probably wasn't over 1,000. So I assume she's maybe like 1,500 years old or something like that. So slowly but surely, we're learning more about this world. And I think I missed it. I think it was earlier when they were talking about, I think it was in the flashback, actually. I might have skipped through it. Was it in this one? Yes, here we go. I totally skipped through it because I was too excited to talk about Aizen. Are you praying? So there's actually a lot to unpack here. Let's go from the beginning. Let's go from the beginning. Here we go. People return to nothingness when they die. Return to nothingness, right? Ash to ash, dust to dust, which I'm pretty sure ironically is a religious saying. And yet it perfectly describes the secular viewpoint. No, they go to heaven, Tengoku. Until several thousand years ago, the commonly held belief was that there was no afterlife. My initial thought was, oh, so she's probably not religious because she's lived before there was an afterlife or before people believed in an afterlife. But I don't think that's true. I don't think she's several thousand years ago. I think she's talking from probably wisdom of her people or her own family, her own tradition, in a sense. Yeah, I'm skeptical about the idea of heaven myself. But since current mages, whatever you want to call them, can't observe the souls of the dead, its existence can't be proven or disproven. This reminds me of an idea in the Nasu-verse. If you've seen Fate Stay Night or Fate Zero, Unlimited Blade Works, that whole Nasu-verse as it's called, there's an idea that as we go back in time, mages are become more powerful, and the world is more filled with magic, and that is petered out as time has gone on until the modern day. There's practically nothing left. There was different things called like the Age of Mystics, the Age of the Gods, and these are different like eras where there's practically an exponential rise in the powers and the abilities of mages. And it's to such a degree, and there's such a dislocation between the Age of Mystics and the modern era in that world that they call the magic that was cast back then true magic, where now it's magecraft, because it's less than a shadow of its former self, really. So I wonder if that's the case here. They can't communicate with the dead now. I wonder if in ancient times, perhaps prehistoric times, or just thousands of years ago, I wonder if they could communicate with the dead, if they could speak with spirits, if there were spirits users like there are in ReZero. And if there were, would that prove or disprove the existence of heaven? Perhaps. Yes, because spirits are here. They're not in heaven. No, maybe you're pulling them back from heaven. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they knew. We don't know. We don't know. It's in history. But it doesn't matter. Hydra doesn't care. Because it's better for it to exist. I believe it should. So to me, it does. It's more convenient that way. All those people doing their best to live deserve something better than nothingness. I prefer to think they get to live the good life in heaven. That certainly is more convenient. Shall we pray? So how to approach this? It's a delicate topic, right? I mean, in a way, I'm sure I've already triggered the people who would be triggered by talks about religion with my earlier talk, with talking about how the Bible might be fake and might be not the word of God. So if the people who were to get triggered by potential criticism of religion, I've probably already scared them away. So I'll just speak frankly. I like and dislike this. And that's entirely personal. When I'm talking in terms of like the story, and as a storyteller, I only like it. I think it's brilliant. I love this, not exploration, but dipping your toes kind of into this concept of whether there's an afterlife and whether, what happens after you die, and just religion in general. Since you have a priest here, and since you have a world that is similar but slightly different from ours, it's good to bring this out to flesh out the world a little bit and flesh out the worldviews a bit of someone who is ostensibly a priest. I have a complicated relationship with religion. I have never personally been involved in religion. As a historian, I think religion has been both vital to the well-being of people and also incredibly damaging to the advancements of social progress, if you would. I mentioned it before, but progress is kind of a sticky word for historians, but for the sake of argument, progress, advancements of civil rights, of equality, things like that. Religion has historically played a difficult role in that, a very not aggressive, but a very antagonistic role. That's the word I'm looking for. It's played the antagonist. It's been pushing against the fight for rights because, it's not in the scripture, right? It's not the way God wanted it. That's whether you believe that is the religion's fault or the people who were following it, their interpretation, it doesn't matter. The fact is they cite that as their source. So it has been used to hinder a lot of progress, a lot of movement, a lot of civil movements, and also to justify a lot of wars and genocides and things like that. So obviously there's good and bad. I know, shocker. But I'm more interested in this personal aspect. Whether they get to the idea that doing good deeds entitles you to a better life after death. And alternatively, the idea that nothing you do matters because you return to nothingness. Ultimately, what it boils down to is you do you, right? Everything I'm saying here is entirely my own perspective. I do not expect anyone to adhere to this, certainly not. And I do not judge people because they do not see the way I see it. I don't believe it's necessary to need a reward to do good. I don't believe it's necessary to need scripture to tell you what is right and what is wrong. Now, do I believe morals are fundamental, are inherent to humanity, to being a human? Not necessarily. I think a lot of it is social construct, but I think those two are intertwined to a degree that they have become fundamental and thus are not, whether you argue they come from scripture or not, whether you believe that our morals are based off of Christianity or whatever you want it to be or not, I'm not here to argue that, but I think it's very valuable that some people have this North Star that if I do good, I'll be rewarded. Personally, I do good for the sake of doing good for others. I don't care about a reward afterwards. I don't care if I return to nothingness afterwards because I'm not doing this for me. You could argue I am doing it for me, like Frieren, doing it for my own self-satisfaction, but I don't believe that. I truly believe I'm doing good to others because I want to do good for them. I want to make their time in this earth better before they return to dust. Oh, but if everyone's returned to dust, what's the point? Well, it's passing the torch, right? I want to make as many lives better as I can before they return to dust. If anything, a lack of an afterlife should be even more of a motivator to do good, because you shouldn't need eternity to define significance, to define meaning. Regardless of what happens after everyone dies and the planet Earth gets absorbed by the sun, would you argue that Shakespeare's life was meaningless? No, right? He changed culture forever. Oh, but if we're just going to be all absorbed by the sun, then it was meaningless. No, but he affected so many lives. He made so many lives better. So many temporary, momentary flickers in the universe, less than a flicker, better just by doing good and by writing and by passing his torch. That's what I believe meaning is. Meaning is not in eternity. Meaning is in bettering the transient lives of others. That's the meaning that I pursue and that I value. And I guess that's why I personally don't need religion. I don't feel like I need religion to do good or to find meaning, because I find meaning in the opposite. I find meaning in the fact that there is no eternity. I find meaning in the search for meaning too. And I enjoy that. If you find meaning in religion, then good for you. I mean that. Whatever helps you find the most meaning, I think, is genuinely the best thing for you. As long as you are not worsening others' lives and you are not antagonizing other people, whatever works for you. You do you, boo, right? It's just personally, I don't feel that need. So I'm happy to engage in the intellectual journey of finding meaning without eternity. I think that's the best way of the rant I was going on. I enjoy finding meaning in a world without eternity. But I absolutely respect and value Hyder's view here that there is solace and a lot of comfort that comes with finding meaning, that comes with knowing there's something afterwards. And then they start looking for the tree. And then we have a talk here. Why did you decide to look for Flamingo's notes? I felt sorry for you and Himmel because you wanted to get to know him better. So we want you to be able to communicate with him through her aid, indirect aid. And then we get the reveal. Even after 1,000 years, I'm still dancing in the palm of my master's hand. You'll still be protecting this place 1,000 years from now. And she was practically a sage. She was practically a prophet. You'll still be protecting this place 1,000 years from now. Eventually, you'll want to learn more about people. And when that day comes, I'll have my tome flipped to exactly the right page you need. You'll be dead, but that's okay. Right? Right there. There it is. That's exactly what I was trying to say. You'll be dead by then. But you won't be. I'll be helping you. And that's where I find meaning. As Flamingo and as Ada Gregan, that's how I find meaning. Even outliving my own end. Even if, whether there's an eternity or not, even or especially if there's no eternity, I will be affecting the lives of other people who also have no eternity. And that's what I find solace in. Someday you'll make a terrible mistake and wish you got to know people better, exactly as you did with Hyder. Himmel. Yeah, no. But when that day comes, I'll be there to help you. And we find a real piece of scripture. Open to the exact page because she knew. And she indeed claims to have found it at the very least. Perhaps I should believe in it for once. Let me find it. And then where it's located now. I assume she means where it was when they defeated it. Again, moving the castle around or moving where his main castle is. But this interaction is great. These expressions are great. The angles too. You'd said you'd help me, didn't you? Help me help you. You want to help me? Help yourself. Help me and Hyder by giving yourself this. I mentioned in the episode that I was wondering if he wanted to speak with Himmel too. I doubt it. It doesn't seem like he's going on them on this journey. He really is just doing it for her, which is lovely. It's so lovely. It's so cold. I don't want to go. And it says it's the farthest point to the north of the continent. My God, I can't speak. Oh gosh. And then finally, we get this. I don't understand her. She seems not interested in me, but she's very considerate. And she's been giving me birthday presents. I wonder what she's thinking. She's so strange. Is she, though? And it's a waste of time. Again, we mentioned this before, but she's not in a rush. So I don't think it's an actual waste of time. I think she just doesn't want to be responsible for the death of people who were under her care. But that just shows how good of a master she is, because she cares. I think she's a little hard to understand, but not nearly as hard to understand as Fern makes her out to be. I think she seems disinterested just because that's her disposition. That's just how she looks. That's just how she is. And I fell for it too, right? In episode 1, I was talking about how she wasn't very expressive, very emotional. In both cases, I'm completely wrong. She just expresses emotion in a different way that we expect. She doesn't wear her emotions on her sleeve. They seep out of every orifice in her body, but she doesn't wear it on her sleeve like a lot of humans do. She seems disinterested, but she clearly feels all the emotions and all the feelings and all the conflict, that internal conflict that we do. And she's just as considerate, if not more, because actions speak louder than words. Actions speak much louder than inaction. She seems disinterested to me. That's inaction. She's not doing anything. But then she gives me presence. That's action. That speaks louder. And more importantly, it's what's behind the action, right? Her just giving a present doesn't speak to her consideration. Her giving presence that she clearly put a lot of thought behind, that Fern saw because she was sneaking around. That's what speaks louder than her apparent disinterest. That's what shows her consideration, that she cares, that she really thinks, and she really cares. And that's lovely. That's lovely. This is such a lovely show. It's such a wonderful show. It's such a feel-good show. It really is exactly as I pictured it would be. This exploration of what it is to be human, how the passage of time flows differently for people, what a legacy is, how long you really live, and what outlasts you. It's so interesting. And of course, relationships. As they say here, that's not how relationships work. They're not a waste of time because they impacted you. She says here, like, I've only lived for, this journey was only 1/100th of my journey. And yet, that wasn't a waste of time, right? She doesn't regret it. Clearly not. Such a short time, but it was impactful. So even if she goes on a journey, even if, heaven forbid, something happens to Fern, it doesn't make their journey together a waste of time. Because just like that sunrise, it's about the journey, it's about the experience. It's about the indelible mark it leaves on you and on the world in Himmel's case. Both in Himmel's case. Anyways, I should leave it off here because I'm running out of words and my brain's running itself in circles. I hope you have enjoyed as much as I have. If you have, please do remember to like and subscribe if you're not already. Get notified when new videos come out and show me and the algorithm that this is something that you think is valuable, is worth your time. If you want to engage in the comments, let me know about something in the episode that I didn't talk about, something I missed, something I didn't talk about much, or something context around the episode that you want to bring up to my attention. Or if there's something that I said that you agree or disagree with. I'm sure there's at least one thing, probably about religion. Whether you agree or disagree with me, please do leave your thoughts in the comments. I would love to engage with you there. It is the value that I find in these shows. Regardless, whatever you choose to do, and wherever I see you next, until that time, have a lovely rest of your day.